truckers, drivers, and adventurers. I am the killer driver in training. And welcome back to another day of basic training. Yeah, that's how I've been kind of relating this experience. Is very much like basic training. I mean, for me, I was in the Army. Uh, but other than not getting yelled at by a bunch of drill sergeants, it kind of feels almost like a basic training type of style. So we wake up early in the morning, um, and we're out there for 11 hours with a few spots for a break and a lunch, but we're pretty much out there for 11 hours. And then we have a bus ride that takes us home, and the bus is like a school bus type of thing, which I remember seeing also used in the Army too. So it's very much like that, and they are very long hours. And I gotta say, I'm very, very thankful that I went through the military because I've got that experience to fall back on. So this really doesn't bother me. It's just long, and I knew that coming into it. Okay, so today we're going to be working some more on that big, thick book, which I've been working ahead on, and I'm pretty sure I'll finish that book today. And that'll give me, well, hopefully it'll give me some time to study for the permit, which will be taken tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I could have tested it by now because I was already prepared for it, but there's no need to rush through this right now. So, but yeah, kind of getting ready to take off here. So let's get going. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention very quickly that the the bugle sound in regards to waking up in the morning for the military, I actually put that on my phone as my wake up alarm because it's a psychological thing. Before I didn't have something like that, but I don't want to be late. I want to be sure that I am giving my all and my best because the instructor, he had said, think about these 3 weeks as your interview process for the job. So, and I think that's a good way to look at it. And so I changed the alarm on my phone to kind of remind me, back in the day when I was in the military, get up and get going. So it's just kind of a psychological thing, but it works for me. This thing is really noisy. And it doesn't really do the greatest job of keeping the room cool, especially when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like drenched in sweat. And then I feel cold. So, yeah. Who said it was going to be comfortable, man? Look at all the things that we can do here in Arizona. My eyes saw this. Virtual reality kart racing. Oh, that's new. $5 off. Got some skydiving, wildlife ranch. World's largest firefighting museum. Interesting. Playing with trees. Oh yeah, the biosphere. That's like down by Tucson. Okay, so something that I didn't talk about yesterday is in regards to, this little, not break area, but they offer us breakfast every day, and in the bags is stuff like like breakfast burritos, bagels, and stuff. But as tempting as it is, I haven't been doing that. But I have been grabbing myself some water. Apparently with a label that's coming off. All the way downstairs, and I forgot to grab my water. Oh, where's the other one at? I did put it in there. Oh, there it is. It fell. It's down here. Mixed up with my salad. I got a haul ass. Oh, I'm so silly. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. Ooh. Number one. 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Oh, this looks familiar. Haven't I already been here? Oh, and did I mention that I had my shirt inside out? Yeah. For some reason, 2 plus 2 did not equal 4 this morning. Well, so far, today we're working in that 500-page book, watching some videos, and taking the tests one at a time, which have a password. So, although I've been working ahead, I've been writing all the answers from the test questions, and I'm almost done. I'm working on the last chapter now, which is there's 35 chapters and about 500 some pages in the whole book, and I'm on the last one, and the class just finished chapter 10, I believe. So what they do is we have some online students also that are going through this, because you can do it virtually. I just chose to actually come to the location. I thought I might get more out of it by doing that. But yeah, so when they do the test, they're waiting for everyone to get done, and the people online to get done. And once I finish mine, I just go right back to the book and I just keep working. And I'm almost done. So, all right. Well, we're on our lunch break right now. And I got to tell you, my legs are hurting me because of the thing from yesterday. But what are we going to have for lunch? Well, let's take a look. Should I choose ranch, lemon pepper, or lemon sesame and ginger? Well, I think I'm going to go with ranch, because the ranch seems like it would go very well with tortillas. So basically this here is going to be enough to make 2 of these. I had just recorded a segment and apparently it didn't record, so I have to redo it. Anyway, after that scrumptious lunch of 2 tuna wraps, I thought I'd come over here and kind of show you the range and what it is that I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks. You can see the cones over here, which is where they'll be doing the backing up and parking. There's a route that although I haven't seen anyone drive around that route. But ooh, hold on. Look at that red. Oh, can I get it? Oh, I can't even see it now. It had a red tractor. It was like maroon colored. Oh, there it is. You can kind of see it now. Ooh, I want that. I want that color. Flight Simulator fans, don't those clouds look like Flight Sim 2020? Every time I see these clouds now, that's what I think of. I think of Flight Sim 2020, just because the clouds are so awesome. And that sim. Yep, folks, I am back from training. You may have noticed my camouflage pants here. Yeah, we had to, I mean, I knew this going in, but we can't have shorts. They have to be slack, so I had to go buy some from Goodwill because that's one of my favorite places. And I found these camis, these camouflage pants, and it kind of works out pretty well uh, with the whole waking up to my alarm sound with the bugle call, and also with how the training seems like basic training. Getting picked up by a bus and being taken over and being out there for 11 hours. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of appropriate. Okay, well, now that we're back, let's go ahead and talk about what happened here on day number 3, which happens to be a Wednesday. It may not be Wednesday for you when you're watching this, but it's Wednesday for me. It's all relative, right? So I mentioned how I had been working ahead from that really thick book that I talked about in day number 1. I worked ahead like uh, while everyone was testing and we are waiting for everyone to finish before going to the next section. I was just working ahead. And then eventually I finished it. Well, we did actually go through the whole book today. um, and it was really up to people to try to read up or try to take the test questions and find the answers in the book. I don't know. All I know is I worked ahead and it made things a lot easier for me because I did that. And then when I had finished it, then I was going back to my CDL manual here and I started, reading through stuff. Again, remember, I've already been studying this for over a month. So just reading this CDL manual was just for entertainment purposes. It wasn't really for learning purposes because I've already learned this stuff in this book. But yeah, so I was doing that. One of the things that I was doing is I was reading up on the endorsements. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but there are things that you can add to your CDL license, and they're called endorsements. One of them is being able to pull doubles and triples. So, for those of you out there who play Truck Simulator or have watched me play or crash Truck Simulator, uh, you know that you can pull doubles and you can pull triple trailers. Well, there is a special endorsement for that. So you have to take a separate test for that, which I've been studying for that for the past month also, as well as tankers. And that's just how it sounds. It's, the most common thing that I think of when I see a tanker are the gasoline ones, that are driving the gas from one place to another. But they're used for other things too, such as milk or grains, or sometimes they have more than one thing in them. Because it can be a completely open tank, which makes it a little bit more not likely, but more prone to for tip overs if you're not driving carefully. But there's also some that have baffles in it, and baffles, and there's also bulkheads. So if there's things that are in there that they need to keep separate, they'll use bulkheads to separate them out so that way they don't get contaminated. Now, baffles, not to baffle your mind or anything, but baffles are bulkheads that have holes in them. And that's just to help with surge, is what it's called. So when you're driving in a truck or you're stopping or you're turning, that liquid is going like this. And so having the baffles in there, it lessens that back and forth motion because you've got all of this liquid weight that will push you back or push you forward, and so those baffles uh, help with that. And then the other endorsement is hazmat or hazardous materials, and that's just what you think it would be. The gasoline. There's also flammable stuff, gases or dynamite, um, radioactive stuff. I mean, there's a lot of different categories for it, and my plan is to get all of those endorsements, just to open up future possibilities for lots of type of stuff, and also I think it'll be great for this series here, because those of you who are joining right here at the very beginning of the series, maybe you've always been interested in the trucking industry, and maybe you're just in a situation, maybe health reasons, you just can't do it, or you have other family responsibilities, and you're not able to get away. Because hey, don't kid yourself here, that this line of work, it's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle, and I don't think I could have done this when I was younger, because I would not have wanted to be away
Oh,
from my
and did
daughter
I
when
mention
she was
that
growing up.
I had my
But
shirt
now she's a young
inside
adult
out?
and she's engaged,
Yeah. For
so
some reason, 2 plus 2
I
did not
can
equal 4 this morning.
I can change my my career for the latter part of my life, and do something different. And it's I know what it is that I'm getting into. This is not going to be a surprise for me. Have I ever been in the trucking industry? No. But I know that it's not going to be easy work. I know it's just not driving from one point to another. There's going to be a lot of stuff involved in it. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I'm really thankful for that time that I spent in the military, because I didn't know what to expect with that. And it helped teach me to expect the unexpected and try to be as prepared as you possibly can. But yeah, I think that's going to be a great thing for this series, uh, because I want to be able to try to go into different types of deliveries. The dry van, the refrigerated, or what they call reefer, which sounds too much like a drug. I don't know. Anyway, uh, also the tankers. Swift doesn't have any tankers, from what I see. They've got the dry van. They've got the refrigerated. They got the intermodal, which are the big crates that you either load up from a dock, from a boat dock, or you load them up onto a train, or those type of things. And then there's flatbed, which is what I'm getting into. Is flatbed. That's what I was going to be doing with rail. And yeah, I could have picked something else, but flatbed actually pays uh, more at Swift. And I don't know. I just wanted to just whatever I was going to do with rail, since they were messing around with me, I just figured, oh, I'll just do it with Swift, and they're actually going to pay me more. And what I found was interesting is that I have not met one person yet in the school that is going to flatbed. A lot of them are going into dry van or refrigerated, but I haven't come across anyone that goes into flatbed. I did talk with one person who said he knows someone who who's gone into flatbed, but there doesn't seem to be that many, and I think it's just because of all the work that's involved. Because you gotta strap this stuff down, you gotta tarp it, and my thought was, okay, it's a good way for me to stay in shape, right? I mean, I'm gonna get some exercise and stuff from it, and I'm trying to lose this weight, and I think that's a great way to kind of do it, to be able to stay active and work at the same time. So I don't know, I'm okay with that. Oh, I've got to tell you, my legs are sore from yesterday. I mean, I didn't really feel it yesterday, from the step up, step down, and everything. But today, oh my goodness, it's hard to
get up and get down. My legs are just really sore right now. So hopefully I'll be a little better tomorrow. And tomorrow is when we're going to be testing for our permit, the commercial learner's permit. You need that in order to go to the next phase, which is all the road testing and stuff that we'll be doing for the next 2 weeks. So once you have the permit, and then you've got the road testing stuff done, then you can go test for your actual license. So just a little over 2 weeks away, folks. And it's I'm just kind of thinking about it. It's like I'm just thinking now, next week I'm going to be behind one of those trucks. I'm actually going to be driving one of those trucks. It's kind of weird, I just never, I kind of daydream of it, as a kid. You're just kind of like honk honk, but here it is. I'm actually going to be doing it. So this is kind of neat. What am I playing with here? I don't know. No, this is this is an adapter actually. It will allow me. I didn't realize I had this the whole time, but it'll allow me to use my lavalier mic that I have, since my headphone jack doesn't seem to be jacking anything. That could just go a totally wrong way, and we won't go there. But yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, so we just got this Swift Academy training manual today, which has got, some rules and regulations in there. They probably should have given this out on the first day rather than the third day, but what do I know? So there's stuff on here in regards to the range and road rules. And what did I do? Did I skip a whole bunch of pages? I guess so. But I mentioned how I'm not going to be able to take any pictures or footage or anything being out in the range. And that's right here. Cell phone use is strictly prohibited during training hours. Use of cell phones is permitted during breaks and lunches only. And then there is no other electronic devices are permitted in school. So, at first I thought, oh, maybe I can just get a GoPro or something, and just have it on me and be able to record what's going on. But nope, they don't allow that either. So the only thing that I can do is like during lunches and breaks, and we can't do that out on the range anyway. And from what I heard from another person was that you're not even going to have your phone with you. You're going to have it inside of a cubby, inside of a room or special place in the truck. So yep, that's just how it is. Then there's like pre-trip. This is all the pre-trip stuff. This is going to come in handy here is the air brake test, because you've got to pass this 100%. The other things, the more points you gain, the better. As opposed to like if you're driving and you get points, that's a bad thing. But here it's a good thing. So you want to be able to get as many points as you can. They don't have to be 100%, but you want to be able to gain as many points as you can. But this, you have to have 100%, because the air brake test is so important, because it's, the big thing in regards to trucks. And I think ALSAPS is actually not too bad of a way to remember it, because it kind of reminds me of Allsups, which is this convenience store chain in New Mexico. They got good green burritos. Anyway, the A stands for the air leakage test. Basically, you're putting your foot on the brake and you're testing to see if there's any leakage. It can't be any more than 4 pounds per inch, or PSI, in 1 minute. So that's the first thing that you do. And then the L is the low pressure warning. So you just tested if there was any leak. Now what you're going to do is you're going to step on and off the service brakes. You're just going to go like this until the air pressure gauge goes to 60 60 psi, and then an alarm will sound. So that's the low pressure warning test. And then the next is right after that, S, for spring brakes. Now, spring brakes are your parking brake, your emergency brake. So what you do is you continue to step on and off that brake and lower that pressure. And once it gets between 20 and 45, then you may have noticed that there's a red and a yellow knob. Especially those of you that play Truck Simulator, you may have noticed the triangle or the diamond yellow button and the red one over here, and those are your spring brakes. And once it gets down to 20 to 45 psi, they pop out. So once you've done that, now what you got to do is you got to get the air back in the system, so that way you can do the P and the S. We'll explain that. So the A is the air gauge test. So you start the engine and you rev up the truck to, where is it here? Yeah, like 1200 to 1500 RPMs. And the system will repressurize the air for your air brakes. And it should build to 85 to 100 psi within about 45 minutes. So you're getting it back up to a normal range. And then once you do, you're testing to make sure that works. And then you test P and S, which is your parking brakes, or your park brake test, and then your service brake. So with the parking brake, now that you've got the air filled back into the system, now what you're going to do is you're going to push in like one of the knobs, and then you're going to gently tug to see if the trailer is holding you. And then you'll pull that out and push the other one in to see if the parking brakes are holding. And then if that's fine, then you push them in, and this is where you test your service brakes, or the foot brake. That's the regular foot brake, the one that uses the air brakes. And then you put in the gear and you drive really slowly at 5 miles per hour, and then you push the brake and come to a stop. And while you're doing that, you're checking to see if the wheel had turned one way or the other. That would suggest that maybe the brakes are worn unevenly on one side or another. But yeah, this is like a really important thing to know for the pre-trip test, because you got to get this 100%. You can't miss one thing out of that. And then there's more of the pre-trip stuff, and some diagrams and more diagrams, and a picture of what seems to be like, I don't know, like a cake with a bunch of icing on there. No, that's actually the what is that? The fifth wheel, the platform, something. I should know that, right? Yeah, the trailer sits on top of it. I think that's the platform, sliding thing. I don't know. It's a cake. Anyway, glad hands. Yeah, see, they look just like hands, don't they? Yeah, it's because that's why they're called glad hands. And then here's all the stuff that we'll be doing when we're out in the range: the straight line backing, and how to back a trailer. It's funny, I figured this out doing the Truck Simulator in VR. I'm like, oh, if I turn this way, it makes the trailer go that way. I kind of figured that out on my own. So I wound up getting practice before actually coming here. So, hey, again, gaming helps. Then there's a bunch of stuff. And you know what? This is probably going to make me even a better driver in the Truck Simulator. So, yeah, there's all these different parking things that we're going to be doing. And what are this? Parallel parks. All kinds of stuff. Swift Driving Academy. There's all these road training tips, and driving at an intersection. You don't want to pull out this way and turn, because there's a chance a car could just go around you. You've got to come out to the intersection and then turn and then come in like that. Now, what do you do if there's traffic here? I don't know. I haven't really found an answer to that yet. So I probably will have to be on a road talking to someone in order to find out. But yeah, if you got traffic parked up here, how in the world are you going to come out here and make a turn? And I don't know. Maybe you have to just keep going, find another intersection. We'll find out, folks. We'll find out. So yeah, here's another picture of that. So yeah, you know, you got all these cars here. How in the world can you do this? I don't know. We'll find out. Some more stuff here. Yeah, say, don't do this. That's bad. Say, I think I've done that. Yeah, no, I have done this in Truck Simulator now that I think about it. Let's see. Turns, roads. Avoid a bad image. Maintain a good image. Be a knight of the road. In case you guys didn't know, Knight Transportation and Swift Transportation are the same company. So that's why they got Knight. Knight. I saw Knight Transportation when I first saw it, and I thought of Knight Rider and Michael Knight and Knight Industries. Come on, 80s fans. You're with me on this, aren't you? There's a whole bunch of Swift families, you know. But you know, it's like I was saying. People, there's channels out there that give Swift a bad reputation, and from what I'm seeing, I don't think they deserve it. Their training seems pretty, I don't know, pretty stable. I mean, it's not like I've gone to a whole bunch of, you know, schools or something to compare, but it seems pretty thorough to me. What I think is funny though is you've got these acronyms for Swift, you know, the SWIFT, and one of them that's common is sure wish I finished training, and there's several others. Well, the funny thing is that they have their own acronym here for Swift. So if someone tries to say something bad to Swift, about Swift, and say, you know, what the letters stand for, well, here's what it really stands for. S for speed appropriate for conditions. W, watch other motorists and pedestrians. Avoid surprises by being prepared. No, this is not the simulator. Some of you will get that. Look around on the channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. I for indicate your intentions, let others know your intentions. F, follow other vehicles safely. Rear-ending another vehicle is bad. It's not good. Okay, it's not good. It's completely avoidable and preventable. T, take the path for least resistance. So there you go. That's what Swift really stands for. It doesn't stand for what some of these other channels and websites and forums try to say. There you go. That's what it stands for. You know, we here at Killer TV, we want to set people straight, right? It's all about honesty. Now, and then we got this. I remember I told you about on the other day how there was an English comprehensive test, and you had to like pick signs out from the screen. You know, it was like, hey, look for something that has to do with night. You'd have to click. It was just kind of like this, similar to this. Got some more acronyms here, and turns, and more turns, and yay! Does anyone think the same thing that I'm thinking? I'm looking at the mustache, in case you're wondering. Not sure if maybe they should have thought about this a different way. I don't know. But anyway, he's holding his CDL. CDL. Let's go. All right, but and then what they've been having us do is fill out a daily log, kind of like a timesheet, but it's giving us practice on how to fill these actual logs. And there are 4 different things. There's off-duty meaning that you're not responsible for doing anything at that time. So you could be home, or you could be off time, maybe on a reset or something. And then there's the time that you're in the sleeper. And then this is the time that you're driving. And then this also is on duty, but you're not driving. So you might be filling up the vehicle, or you might be in an inspection, or you're doing a pre-trip inspection, or you got pulled over, or weights, or all that stuff. And you got to do this every single day. Now, a lot of it is done electronically. I think it might be a good idea to also do it on paper, because just in case something was to go wrong with the electronic log, I don't know. I have a paper backup. That's the only thing that I can think of, but seems like it would be a good thing to do. All right, well, let's go ahead and end it here for day number 3. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. You know what to do, subscribe. And hey, have you clicked off the video yet? Shame on you. There's some of you people out there that are like, oh, the video's done. Click, I'm gone. Why? Why would you do that? No, don't do that. Bonus points for staying all the way to the end of the video. Yes, it means you're cool and you're my friend if you do that. Uh, and you become part of the special elite group of friends when you subscribe and click the like button and that bell, so you get notified of new stuff that gets uploaded to the channel. Not able to upload as much stuff as I did before. Eventually I'll be able to get back to that, but I do have some stuff that I worked on ahead of time and getting up. Plus I've got my tablet here, and I've got some things that I've been writing down that I've been wanting to work on and shoot here with my phone and kind of patch it together and put it up on the channel. So I've been working out some ideas. So don't worry, we're still going to get some content going. And I have thought about doing some flight simulator of some sort. I'm not sure. I'll figure that out. Once again, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it, as always. Stay cool, stay happy, and have a killer awesome trucking day.